Hello everybody and welcome back to RogueTech, where 205k, that sounds about right considering that we lost the mongoose. Don't get started on that just yet, Yang. I want to potentially think about refitting the mongoose. I also want to refit the Vulcan while we're in here and needing to do repairs anyway. So I want to definitely consider removing the Narc. I'm not sure it's very useful to have the Narc at this point. And we'll just max out this armor. That leaves us with about 2 tons remaining. This ammo is already safed, so we can safely bring down something like that for our armor in the legs. And then that gives us 2 total tons to throw towards something else. Now, I've got a standard fire control system in this. That's definitely something I want to address, as well as the sensors in this particular mech. This guy, he would be pretty well suited to have a better sensor suite. And I also want to look at maybe... none of these fire control systems are particularly good. I wouldn't mind having a recon sensor in this, though. There we go. That would help. Now, I really wish we could have a better fire control system. We would be able to potentially get multi-track. Let's take a look at our hardpoints. We do actually have a missile hardpoint available. And that's really the only hardpoint we have available. Okay. Noted. We've got the Warfare Suite here. That's 3 tons. And I don't think that's amazingly useful. We could put a UAV into a specialist slot, in theory. We could give it a go. I'm not sure how that'll actually end up feeling. And what else do we want on this thing? I mean, there is stealth armor. Yeah, requires ECM. We could put ECM on here, in theory. Or we could put an IFF jammer. And that creates a low-level ECM field, but cannot enable stealth. Okay. Noted. There is the sheathed beacon, though. We could, in theory, do that instead. That wouldn't be a terrible concept. So we sheath beacon that. And then we could have potentially chameleon LPS or stealth armor. Now, this is a light polarization shield. Reserves 12 slots and contains an ECM. Yeah, ECM already contained. So we could just... not enough free slots for stealth. Okay, I think we'll just leave it on the sheathed beacon for now. We could swap over to ferrofibrous. That would not help our slot situation, of course. We could put on an additional jump jet. That is an option. And that is, of course, half a ton for additional jump range. I'm not sure how useful jump range is right now over what we have, though. Honestly, jumping is kind of a liability, but kind of not. An AMS on this thing could be funny. But if I recall correctly, we don't have AMS ammo. So that's probably not a good idea. Let's see here. AMS ammo. Yeah, no AMS ammo. Okay, fair enough. The UAV came off when we put the sheathed beacon on, didn't it? Can we still have a UAV on there? Ah, that takes off the sheathed beacon. Okay, so the two are not compatible. Good to know. Good to know. I definitely would prefer to have the sheathed beacon over the UAV. So, is that under equipment? Yes. Yes, it is. Okay, so we'll put that up here. Of course, with the sheathed beacon, that means that we cannot utilize this this hard point. What we could do is we could drop the ER medium laser, so that gives us 4 tons to work with. And then we could put on a second medium pulse laser over here. If we had a third medium pulse laser, I would put that here. We don't. We could put an X pulse over here, though. I guess that'll work. That isn't wrecking our heat efficiency either, so I think we'll just go with that for now. Okay, let's get that narc off of there. Now, the Hunchy, I'm going to leave the Hunchy mostly as it is. I mean, it's not a great loadout, that's for sure. Not a great loadout at all. But, we'll leave it as is for now. Ah, yes. This perennial issue. We're going to take this up to like 95. Then I want to max out the arms. And then any more weight that we have can go into the legs. I wish they would fix this with the ferrofibrous armor, where it doesn't always automatically put the armor on properly. That would be awfully nice if they'd fix that. So far, no such luck on that one, though. Okay, we'll call that good. 1,238 C-bills for that, and that'll take 1 day. And then the mongoose. How much money do we actually want to put into this thing? I don't know. We lost the SRM ammo. That's maybe okay, though. I kind of want to fully refit this guy. And I do want to replace the upper leg. We'll repair that. I want to max out this armor and see how much tonnage that gives us. Okay. Good to know. We did have endo steel structure on this previously. And that's already... Actually, that's not hugely expensive. We'll go ahead and do that. We had what engine core? An engine core 210 previously. And we do have an engine core 210. Excellent. We'll need a standard fusion engine in this thing, of course. We're going to go with standard heatsink cooling. Can we get an engine heatsink plus 3 on here? We can, but that puts us overweight. Yeah, we don't have much weight left here. We could maybe go for ferrofibrous armor. Save a little bit of weight, but I don't think that's worth the weight save. Yeah, I really don't think that's worth the weight save. We could potentially drop this down to, say, an engine core 190? That's a max move of 7 hex versus a max move of 8 hex. 8.5 tons versus 12 tons. That is very worthwhile, I think. That saves us quite a lot of weight. Okay. Now the question is, what do we mount in this thing? That is a good question. That is a very good question. What is the weight on an MRM-20? 7 tons? That's a little much. Honestly, I don't really want to use this mech. But we kind of have to right now, unless... I'm going to confirm this for right now. And yes, it's not going to be done. I'll get it in the schedule. But I want to check if we have anything ready to ready over here. I wish we could sort these by number of parts. That would be awful nice. Let's see here. We've got a gladiator that we could ready. That might not be worth, or might not be too bad. It's got 3 laser hardpoints and 2 support hardpoints. It's not necessarily the greatest. Do we have any other options? We have a Panther. I'm not too interested in a Panther right now. Anything else in here? We could ready 2 javelins. No, thank you. Anything else? Almost a dervish, but not quite. This locust, we're very close, well, we could, but Why? Why would we ready a Locust? No thank you. I think we gotta go for the Gladiator. I mean, it's primitive, but...
That mech is ready to fight, Commander.
Well, kind of. That mech is kind of ready to fight. What am I doing? I need to go into the mech bay. Okay. So, let's see what we can get on this Gladiator. This will be interesting. So we're going to repair all of this. This, by default, has an engine core 265 and a primitive engine. Now, I would much rather we have a standard fusion engine in here. There we go. And then a 265, huh? We don't have a 265. We have a 270. I think we'll go with the engine core 240 for right now. And then probably standard heatsink cooling for the cooling kit. Okay, we have a free heatsink, which is currently being utilized here. And we have some primitive components up here that we definitely want to replace if possible. Actually, we want to be in the equipment here. A standard SLDF fire control system could work here. Okay. We can put a recon sensor in here. And instead of a primitive a primitive cockpit, we can just put a basic cockpit. That would be fine. And this has primitive armor currently. We could put on that ferrofibrous armor, though. And that gives us 16 tons to work with. 17 if we take that laser out. Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. We could put an IFF jammer in here. Might not be the worst thing. And then, what if this became that direct fire PPC boat that I was talking about? We could put in 2 ER PPCs. That's going to be really heat inefficient. That brought up our heat efficiency? Weird. Okay. Put the other ER PPC over here. Now, obviously, we need to dedicate all of our remaining tonnage to dealing with the heat that generates. What if instead of standard heatsink cooling, we upgraded this to double heatsink cooling? We could do that. We would need to ditch this heatsink for sure, as well as these 2 heatsinks. Do we have any free heatsinks? Yes, we have 1. Okay. So we do have 9 double heatsinks. Can we put both a double heatsink and a clan double heatsink on? I'm checking. Components are installed in an invalid location. No. Okay. So it has to be clan or inner sphere double heatsinks. Fine. We're going to go with inner sphere double heatsinks for now, for obvious reasons. So we'll put one here. And then we'll put a second one here. And we're just putting on all these double heatsinks. And we needed double heatsinks in order to effectively sink the heat from these ERPPCs. Just like that, we are sinking exactly the amount of heat that we need, and we have 0.232 tons remaining. Fascinating. What can we do with 0.232 tons? We can't ditch the ferrofibrous armor. That is a good question. What can we do with that? I'm not sure there's anything we can do. Other than... 0.2 tons, though. There's really not anything. Like, I don't even know of a weapon in this game that's a 1/4 ton. I think we're going to have to just leave it like this. Okay. Yeah, that's all going to be replaced. We'll confirm that. Okay, so now I want to let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mechs. The mongoose is going to need to be further modified after this. I want the mongoose to be the lowest priority, the gladiator the highest priority, like that. Okay, so we have 3.2 million C-bills right now. Let's go ahead and tick forward 1 day, and that gives us our financial report.
Got a new financial report for you, Commander.
Yes, that is absolutely fine. When is our next Argo upgrade done? That is in 6 days for Gamma Pod. Okay. I think we tick forward those 6 days. The Gladiator is still going to be out for a while, but that is going to get us almost our stealth back. 2, 1, okay. Gamma Pod is good to go. Now we're going to hop over here, and we are going to work on this command console. That'll be another 9 days. That's fine. Okay. So now we're going to tick forward for a few more days. How many more? I think the 6 days for the mongoose. Okay, Festival of Lights. Yeah, this is fine. We're going to celebrate it. Morale increased by 5. Wonderful. We are now spirited. Okay. I did not want to tick forward that day, but it's fine. We're going to hop into the mech bay, and of course, the mongoose is underweight. So, what do we want to put on this thing? We've got 3 tons. Well, it seems pretty obvious, really. Just some triple medium laser thing. Kind of like that. 0.187 remaining. We have components installed in an invalid location. Which components are installed in an invalid location? Has too few heatsinks. Yeah, we expected that. But I think that's just all that we've got going on there. So let's just put on some standard heatsinks, which is, of course, here. And then 1 and 2. There we go. Okay, so, I mean, the mongoose is not going to be very good. But it's also just a backup mech. And we'll replace it just as soon as we can. Okay, so the mongoose is 3 days away from being done. We're going to tick forward 2 days, but not 3. 1, 2.
Those upgrades you asked for are online.
That gives us our command console. And now we're going to hop into the mech bay here. Or not the mech bay, actually, the engineering section. Gladiator is still showing up as a little underweight. I'm not sure there's a lot we can do about that. And the question is, what do we go for? Storage space, reducing our monthly upkeep? That would be awful good. We're not really traveling very much right now, so drive upgrades wouldn't be super useful. Training modules might be okay. I mean, it just gets us some experience, right, when we're ticking. That's the main benefit there. Plus the 1 morale. I guess that's okay, too. And then the recreation is pretty much all morale and tech points. This is kind of our lowest priority that we're going to go down, though. We may want to grab Medbay 2. Maybe. Although, increasing our drop weight limit by 50 tons might be okay. I wonder what our drop weight limit currently is. We haven't hit it. I think we're going to go for this, saving us 5% per month. That will pay for itself relatively quickly. Okay. It's kind of late in the episode, but I'm going to go ahead and deploy us. I want it to be something relatively simple, though. Like this recovery mission, something that we can get done quite quickly. I think we're going to negotiate full salvage here. This is very low pay. Okay. And yes, the Gladiator is showing up as underweight, but there's not really anything we can put into that. We'll put the Stealth here, and we'll put the Gladiator here. Okay. Who is piloting the stealth right now? That is Rancher. We're going to have that actually be Plato. And then over here, I think we will pilot the Gladiator ourselves. Okay. So we've got our Fire Lance. We've got our Battle Lance. Let's do this. Yes, we know it has unused tonnage. There's really not much we can do about that unless we were to go to Endosteel Structure, which we don't... Do we currently have Endosteel Structure available? I think we utilized that. We can double check, though, a little bit later. Endosteel Structure, an ultralight engine, maybe. Those are the things that we can utilize to do that. But I didn't want to put that level of funding into it just yet. We'll go back and revisit those, if necessary. For now, though, we need to retrieve the operatives and biological samples and escapes. And escapes? That's not plural. That is, my brain not entirely working there. We need you to recover our operatives from inside a Capellan research facility. They'll be carrying highly sensitive scientific materials which must be returned to us. These materials are of a biological nature and must not be tampered with. Opening or tampering with the materials will be considered a breach of contract. Commander, the planetary government isn't kidding about that non-tampering clause. The contract includes 20 pages of protocol for handling the sample cases we'll be recovering. Fantastic.
Command interface initiated.
Okay. Do we have any allies? No.
Rock on, everybody.
That's fine. Okay, so you can see here our ECM. That's nice. So we're going to move up over here. These are our target zones. Wonderful. I'm just looking at the layout here. It's very awkward. So we have to wind our way down. Okay. Well, the Battle Lance is going to do just that.
Confirmed.
Those that have jump jets can jump down.
Position confirmed.
The Fire Lance is probably just going to park on this plateau, though.
On my way.
And up we go.
On my way.
On it.
Excellent. Okay. We're going to move over here with the Vulcan, see if we see anything.
Roger.
We do indeed see things. Wonderful. We'll come up with the stealth. We see a vehicle over there. The Hunchy will come up.
Affirmative, Commander.
So we see a Pegasus and a Scimitar. That is not very threatening in the slightest.
Yep.
We're going to utilize the Blackjack here to attack ground on the Scimitar.
Firing on target.
Not very good in terms of those hits.
What do you need?
We're going to use the Stalker for the same... Actually, we're going to attack the Pegasus with the Stalker.
Confirmed.
Mediocre hits again. That's fine, though. These are just preemptive attacks. Ooh, that was a pretty bad one. The Gladiator, of course, doesn't have indirect fire capabilities, so it is just going to move over here and start trying to get into a firing position. Okay, we're now in combat.
Commander.
The stealth is just going to jump straight down over here. It's actually going to take 2 turns for the stealth to get over there. And the SRM Streak and the MRM-20 actually both have decent hit odds on this Pegasus, so we're going to take it. Very nice. Okay.
Right here.
The Cronus does not have jump jet capabilities. We do see that there's a Spider and a Skulker over here. We're just going to sprint down over this way with the Cronus.
Understood. Moving fast.
And we may take a pot shot at this Spider. Yeah, we will. Okay, 1 hit. That's fine.
Yes, Commander.
The Panther is going to move up over this direction.
On it.
And I want to be prioritizing this Spider right now with our fire support.
Copy that.
Direct hit. Very nice. Okay, that's a Stinger over there. Firing on the stealth. It missed. We're fine with this. The stealth and the Vulcan should be more than capable of dealing with that.
Yeah.
Gladiator is going to continue to sprint towards the edge of this cliff to provide fire support in this region. I believe the Stinger moves now. Or rather, the Spider. Yep, here he comes. Bold of him to attack the Cronus, actually. Okay.
Yes, Commander.
The Blackjack is going to continue working on the Spider. The Cronus is kind of on its own over there, and so it needs fire support.
All weapons are go.
Heavy damage to the spider.
Critical hit, Commander.
Excellent.
Receiving you.
The Vulcan is going to come over this way
Moving to position.
and see about maybe finishing off this spider. This could actually do a ridiculous amount of damage right now, looking at these hit odds.
On it.
Yeah,
Scored a critical.
that was a truly tremendous amount of damage. Wonderful. Torso destruction. There's a Vulcan out there, too. Okay, noted. Fair amount of enemies out there. This may end up being a bit of a long episode, but I knew that when I decided to deploy. Injury resist on the stealth. That's nice.
Good to go.
Okay. The Stalker, I think, is going to go for this Stinger.
Engaging.
Oh, it had the AMS and it tried so hard, but it just got one shot. Okay. So we're going to move up with the Hunchy. And the Hunchy is in position
Roger that.
to begin firing on these guys. And the Pegasus is maybe the best hit odds. These others are so far out. There is an Owens out there. Okay. One hit on the Pegasus. That'll do. Pegasus moves back. Fires on the stealth. Does no damage. Excellent. Scimitar moves up. And does nothing. Skulker moves up. Fires on the Cronus. Misses everything. Fine. Okay.
Standing by.
We're going to move up with the Vulcan here. The primary goal of the Vulcan right now is to eliminate the spider, and I think this will work. Oh yeah. That guy's very dead. Wonderful.
Tango is trash.
Okay, we don't need fire support over here anymore. That's a fire starter. Noted. There's a lot of enemies. I was expecting fewer enemies. We're going to close in on the Skulker with the Cronus.
Coordinates received.
And the Cronus is just going to light him up.
Engaging with target.
I mean, we got internal damage on that Skulker. They're firing on the stealth. The barrage just missed. Yeah.
I await your command.
So that, of course, means that we can get out of there. Something along the lines of this. Although this is 2 turns away, so we could jump here,
Jumping.
which is what we're going to do. Vigilance, not offensive push, vigilance. Hit the Scimitar. Probably not destroy it. Yeah, that was really bad hits there. And next round we can get out of there. The Hunchy is, of course, going to have to get out of there too. The enemy Vulcan firing on our stealth. Doing a little damage, but we did vigilance. Okay.
How's it going?
So it is now our Panther's move.
Moving to position.
And given these options, I think we obviously hit this Vulcan, since they're clumped up over here.
All weapons are go.
Okay, direct hit. I don't think we hit the Pegasus there, but that's fine. The Gladiator is going to move up over here.
Roger.
And I think... Ooh, those hit odds are actually good on the Vulcan. We're taking those.
Okay, I'm on it.
And we missed both. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. The Skulker moves up, is going to backstab our Vulcan a bit. Does 2 damage. It's fine. Okay.
Receiving you.
Stalker is going to step forward here.
On my way.
And we are going to drop artillery on the Vulcan. We can actually fire the ER large here.
This should be good.
And we hit. Which was even more surprising. Scimitar is moving through the fire. Taking burn damage and firing on the Gladiator. Did some damage there. I'm surprised to see internal damage. It has some sort of a breaching round, I guess.
Commander,
Okay. We're going to move up with the blackjack here.
on the move.
We're going to continue hitting this Vulcan.
On it.
It's a lot of damage to the Vulcan. Is that a knockdown?
Connection on that one.
That's a knockdown. Okay. Pegasus moves up. Fires on the Hunchy. It's okay. We're not too concerned about that. Whose move is it?
Confirmed.
It is the Hunchy's move. Okay. We're just going to step back out of the barrage here. And I think we're going to go for the Vulcan, despite the fact that it's slightly worse hit odds. We're going to take this overheat as well. I want the Vulcan dead.
Engage target.
Okay. A gyro crit, but we didn't quite take it out. Oh, the Vulcan ejected. We're good. We are good.
I'm receiving you.
Okay, I'm going to take the stealth, I think, up over this way, and we're going to engage the scimitar. Unless our hit odds are that much better on this guy. They are a lot better. Okay, we're going to move up. We are going to Vigilance because this mech is quite exposed. And we are going to fire, and this is probably a kill.
Firing all weapons.
Hover propulsion destruction.
Solid.
We got an ejection. Okay. I was going to say, we had kind of bad rolls there. And there's that fire starter. The fire starter is the next priority target for our artillery, for sure. The Cronus is going to come up over here, and we're going to see if we can take out that Skulker. The answer is no, but we can do a lot of damage to it.
Ready.
We're going to come in, same arc with the Vulcan. Our hit odds are actually surprisingly low here.
Roger.
Okay, that's a wheeled propulsion crit. We'll take that.
Reporting.
And the pilot ejected. Okay, we'll definitely take that. So we've got this Scimitar, we've got this Firestarter, we've got this Owens. Firing on the stealth, this was expected. This is why we're in cover and vigilanced.
Standing by.
Okay. The Stalker is kind of in an awkward position here, but we're going to fire on the Firestarter. It's a lot of damage. That is a lot of damage. We're going to move slightly up with the Panther. And continue to put that fire in.
Strike.
Ooh. That Firestarter is feeling it.
I'm here.
Honestly? We've got 90% hit odds on the Gladiator. This is probably a core here.
Targeting for an alpha.
Okay, we didn't hit the CT, but the pilot still ejected. This is going to be really good salvage.
On my way.
The Owens is the next priority target.
Roger that.
That was really good hits again.
What are your orders, Skipper?
Hunchy, you're just going to stay put, honestly. I think don't fire the large pulse here, sink heat, but fire the ER large. We have a reasonable chance of hitting. And we did hit. And that's a knockdown on the Owens. That is kind of insane, actually. Firing on the Glad here. That's fine.
Damage minimal.
And there's that barrage hitting. It hits nothing.
Standing by.
And I think we just take the stealth over this way to hit the Scimitar.
I'm walking here. See how you like this.
Okay, it's currently panicked.
Receiving you.
The Vulcan is slightly awkwardly located to be of any real use here. We could jump it down here and start it running next turn, and I guess that's what we're going to do. The Cronus is also not going to be of much use anymore. It dealt with this flank nicely, and that was its job, but it's now out of position to help with anything else. The Blackjack is, of course, going to hit the Owens, and honestly, probably going to do a lot of damage here. Yeah, that was a lot of armor there. The Gladiator. Yeah, these hit odds are decent.
All weapons, fire.
I think that's a dead Owens, isn't it?
Tango down.
Yes, it is.
Yes, boss.
Okay, so the Panther now hits the Scimitar.
Here we go. Yeah.
I mean, the Scimitar is just dead. I mean, not with those hits, it's not, but... Actually, it was!
Yup.
Fine. We're just going to brace the Hunchi. And now we are going to need to make our way to these facilities. We'll do that with the Stealth and the Vulcan, and honestly, everyone else,
Roger that.
they can pretty much just chill. Nothing else really needing to be done.
Got it.
We'll grab the target zone,
Going.
and everyone else can chill.
The secondary asset is in hand and ready for retrieval.
Indeed.
The cooling
Actually, I should just do this. There we go. Hold position, yes, yes.
The asset
And there we go.
in hand, Commander. Good work.
Let's get out of here. That worked really well. Imagine if we got MRM-20 Streaks dual on the Stealth. Like, I think there would be weight issues with that, but imagine. That would be bonkers. But the triple artillery just laying on the stability damage into a unstable, into the double ERPPC, that works well. If we can get the artillery upgraded a little bit, so that we have either 3 or 4 thumpers on a single mech, and then have some Gauss rifles as well, oh boy. That Fire Lance is getting scary. We can grab a Vulcan part, but we're likely to get one out of the roulette. So let's just go through here and see if there's anything particularly amazing. Like an Engine Core 240, we don't have one of those. Internal combustion engines, we don't care. Sensor Sentinel, we'll take that. Okay, nothing else hugely great in here that I can see. A lot of this we would be willing to just do the roulette on. So I think we will guarantee a Vulcan part, and let's also, I guess, guarantee a Spider part? No. Let's go for an Owens part, I think. Okay, what do we get in the roulette? We get an AMS. We do have one of those already. Flamers, that's fine. LRM-5 Delta, we don't have any of those. We don't need these machine guns. This Tag Barrage is actually the second one of these that we've gotten in 2 missions. Engine Core 240, of course. This FCS Standard, we'll get rid of that. Jump Jet Small, we don't need. Sensor Basic, we do not need. LRM ammo, no thanks. Tandem SRM ammo, we'll keep that around. As far as repairs go, what, maybe 10k 2 days? Is my guess? Something along those lines. We also definitely need to work on our Battle Lance a little bit. I'm not super happy with the Battle Lance. The Fire Lance is kind of carrying us at this point. And that's likely to remain the case for a little while, until we start really getting some brawling mechs going. 10k 2 days. Am I good or what? Pure luck. At any rate, I'm going to put a cut in here. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.